Hang on. Oh, hang on.
Hey, Tim.
Jiggy, are you sick?
What?
Are you sick?
No, what?
Oh, you just sounded like a really good sneeze.
No, I'm congested. Allergies. I will shut off my
Oh,
mic.
Allergy.
oh, let me see here. Let me see here.
Allergy.
Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, this is what I wanted you guys to see. These are all the books that the Mixed Nuts, these are some books that Mixed Nuts have finished. And I just wanted to try to pitch them for everybody. Can you see the screen, Utpala?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So these are a couple books by myself, How Yoga Works, Karma of Love. This book here is a huge, beautiful box set. Looks like this. It's you know, it's as big as your couch at home. Okay.
Actually, the one we're selling
And-
is not this one.
Oh, well,
We're
that's,
selling the first one that we made. It's the same books. It's just a different case.
okay. All right. And then this is the Heart Sutra commentary, finished by the Mixed Nuts, and specifically by Venerable Jigme. This is Diamond Cutter Sutra commentary by the Mixed Nuts. This is a fancier edition. And we should, well, anyway, consolidate those a bit. But the main thing I want to show you is these two books are new. And you can order them on the website by ebook. And it's really exciting. So you can get it, you don't have to wait for the shipment to come. You can just push a button and it comes to your computer and you can start reading it. So this one is Emptiness Meditations by Venerable Utpala, whose class we're going to have this morning. And I don't know, I really like it. It's an amazing book, and I'm using it for all of the new DCI courses for the next couple of years. So there's 38 different kinds of emptiness meditations here. There's the original book on meditation by Kamala Shila, and there's two commentaries to it. So, you know, if you want to know how to meditate, or if you're interested in learning about emptiness, it's a great book. It's about 450 pages, right, Utpala? I think so. Yeah.
Well, in an ebook,
Almost 500
it's kind of
pages.
hard to say. On your iPhone, it might be 3,000 pages. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. So I really, really, advise you to get this book. And I think it's cool that you can get it in like 5 minutes. And you don't have to wait for the boat to come to your country. This is a new publication. It's about a couple weeks old. And this is the Mixed Nuts translation of the Medicine Buddha Sutra. And this is the longer sutra. There are two sutras, and this is the long sutra. And we finished it. We worked hard on it for 2 or 3 years. And now it's ready. And you can order it online and get the ebook. It's also an ebook. And it's very, very beautiful, and it's very, very accurate. We spent years cleaning up the checking Sanskrit editions and Chinese editions, and then cleaning it up. And if you're interested in Medicine Buddha practice, you can get it in about 5 minutes. And my neighbor was asking me about meditation. And so I thought, I called up the press, which means Ellie and Rosa. And I said, is there any way to send a book as a gift. And they said, yeah, you can send a book to anybody. So there's two ways to do that. I guess you can get a gift card here, but you can also click on any book. Like if you want to send Emptiness meditation book to somebody and you decide to add it to your cart, and then you go to your cart and it'll ask you, where is that? When you check out, it'll ask you, where do you want to send the book to? Here. Yes. Here's the email, okay? So what I did to give a gift to somebody else, you just type in their email and then you pay for it. And the book is sent to them. And it's really fun. I've been sending books to lots of people as gifts just by typing in their email. And then you send the ebook to them and they get it and they can read it. And it's really fun. So it's a new era in the mixed nuts. Our books are pouring out now. We're putting out 4 or 5 books a year now. It's been 5 years of hard work, training all these stubborn translators like Sugang. And for me, for Grandpa, it's very, very exciting that I can just type in somebody's email, pay a small fee for the book, and send it to a good friends of mine. And it's really a new era in the mixed nuts. And the books are very, very carefully done. And as you know, they have the ancient languages in them, and it's really awesome. Okay, and they just show up on your ebook reader. Okay, let's go do some work, Utpala. I'm going to go to your text.
Thank you.
This is Venerable Utpala. You can see it okay, you guys?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. This is Venerable Utpala's text. My computer just, okay. For this term. And
many more to come.
Yeah, we did last text. We did pretty well. We are running about 7 folio faces per term. And this entire book will be about 2,000 pages. We can finish the classes for the book, I think in the summer of 2023. So that's not too bad for a mixed nuts book. Wait,
It's really fast.
there's a mistake there, right? It's too fast. I'm sorry. Oh, for the first book. Okay. We have to divide it into 5 books. And so those books will have about 400 pages each. And we can finish the classes for the first book in next a year from this summer. Upala, you want to say anything about your book or what's the subject?
Yeah, sure. So K-Trip J, he looked around and he saw that, there are people around him who said they were Buddhists and they're practicing really well and all that and doing the mantras and such, but, they really didn't understand the nature of reality. And so he saw, oh my gosh, their practices aren't going to work. I have to tell them what is this emptiness that will be the key to their enlightenment. And without it, there is no way to reach it. So he decided to write this book about emptiness, a short little piece that's, how many pages did we say?
5 books. 5 English.
And so he began by explaining to us why it's important that we understand emptiness and who it is that is appropriate to teach about emptiness and who it is that is appropriate to learn about emptiness. And he told us about Arya Nagarjuna and why he's someone we should listen to. And then in the last couple sessions, we started talking about, okay, let's get into it, right? the actual topic of emptiness. And the first thing is we have to rely on the Buddha, but the Buddha taught different things to different people. So how is it that we know what we should understand as true and, in other words, literal, and what we should understand as figurative? And so he's going through now the mind-only point of view about what is literal and what is figurative. Next, he's going to go on to Arya Nagarjuna. I don't know when we're going to get to that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good. So we've been talking about the formula. Anybody want to talk about the formula of the mind-only school, the 3 characteristics? In the kitchen, take it to the kitchen.
Oh gosh. Ask me when the PCI guys.
Shenwang, Kundak Yongdu. Okay, say Shenwang. Say Shentian, Shenwang. Kundak Yongdu. Yongdu. Yeah, Shenwang means comes from causes. And that's the husband in the kitchen who's yelling at me, is coming from yelling at my kids. Okay, that's called Shenwang. Okay, Kundak means the not real husband in the kitchen, which means the one that I think is coming from his side and not from me. Okay, so actually Shenwang and Kundak are opposite, right? Shenwang means my husband is coming from causes and I created him this morning to yell at me. And then Kundak means he wants to yell at me, he's a bad person. And that doesn't exist. That husband doesn't exist. It's just made up in your mind. Kuntak means made up in your mind. To think that the husband doesn't come from you is kuntak. That's just fantasy, okay? And then Yongdup means if you subtract the Yongdup means like emptiness, okay? It's what you establish when you cancel the husband who's just made up in your mind, okay? So if you understand that he's not there, you reach emptiness, okay? And emptiness doesn't mean a black hole. It doesn't mean nothing matters. It doesn't mean nothing exists. It just means there's no husband in the kitchen who's not coming from me. And that's emptiness. And that emptiness is refuge. That's Buddhist refuge. If you understand there's no such husband in the kitchen, you are protecting yourself. And that's the protection of the Buddha. The Buddha cannot wave his arm and then you don't have cancer or something like that. It doesn't happen like that. If Medicine Buddha could take away your cancer like this, if you do the mantra, then he will also do it if you don't do the mantra, because he's a nice guy. Okay, so, he will do it for you. He's not going to refuse it if you don't do something, So he can't. He cannot. So refuge, protection means understand it's not coming from the cancer side. It's not coming from your husband's side. It's coming from you. And the cancer or the husband that you think is coming from the other side doesn't exist. So those are the 3 foundations of the mind-only school, okay? The husband in the kitchen or the cancer is coming from something bad you did before. There's no cancer and there's no husband who's not coming from what you did. And that's emptiness. That's the meaning of emptiness. And then we are exploring it with K2J, okay? And here we go. So please read Venerable Utpala. I can see Sugang, so I'm going to ask him to correct you. Okay.
Hey.
My pleasure.
Detar yang gongpa ngen drele. Dundam yang dakpa. Dintar shengi wangi seni dang yang sutrupe seni yenani. Kuntakpe seni kyang rab to shepart ngirna.
Let's start with that. He's quoting Gomba Ngenda. What's that mean?
He's quoting the Sutra Unraveling the True Thought.
Good. What I really meant. Sometimes we translate it as what I really meant. Okay. And then the Buddha says to, who is this person, Dindamyanda Pak?
Oh, ultimately pure. Oh, Arya,
Okay.
ultimately pure. Sorry.
Yeah. You can say that.
That's my provisional translation.
Okay, good. Data Shenwang ki Seni Danyo Satupe Seni Yuna. So Seni means characteristics, right? Of things. Okay. And what's the first one here in the kitchen? Shenwang ki Seni is what?
Well, we've been translating Seni previously, or the provisional, as the quality.
You can say that.
So the
but-
quality of dominated objects and the quality of established reality.
So what do those words mean in the kitchen? Who has Shenwang ki Seni?
Right. The husband that comes from you.
Yeah, it comes from yelling at your kids. That's
And
the quality of
dominated
of-
object.
coming from something else. Yeah, and then Yongdrum means his emptiness. Okay, good. And if he's coming from yelling at the kids, and if he doesn't come from somewhere else, then we can understand what kuntak means. Okay, got it? So if you have the first two, if he's coming from yelling at the kids, and if he's not coming from anywhere else, then you can understand the idea that he's kuntak, that the husband who doesn't come from you is fake. It doesn't exist. Okay, got it?
Okay, so it's if you know precisely the qualities of Shenwangs and Yongdrups, then you will also get kuntaks.
Yeah, in other words, if you know he's dependent origination, and if you know he's emptiness, then you know he's not coming from himself. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
Hela gangdak shengi wangi tseni tang yang sudrupe tseni la tseni ni mepar pongwa teta ki ni kuntak pe tseni la yang korpatapa yimbe chirte.
Yeah, nowadays they say korwa, but this is more correct because there was an ancient D after SKUR.
Oh.
Okay. So de la kan shengi wangi tseni, if you map on tong, if you see that it doesn't exist, if you believe that the husband coming from you is not true, okay, then you are shenwang mepatong. You are seeing, you have the opinion that the fact that the husband comes from yelling at the kids is not true. Okay, mepatong. Okay, so suppose you don't believe Venerable Utpala when she says your husband's yelling at you is coming from yelling at your kids. Suppose you don't believe it. Okay, and suppose you don't believe that the husband who wants to yell at you is not there. Okay, suppose you don't believe his emptiness. Okay, you okay? You guys okay? Those two. Suppose you don't believe he comes from yelling at the kids. And suppose you don't believe he doesn't come from you. Well, then automatically you're gonna deny the emptiness of your husband. Okay, you're gonna deny it. Okay, the fake husband. You're gonna deny the fake husband. You're gonna deny the husband who is just called a husband, but he's not a real husband. Okay, got it? In other words, if you don't understand all three parts going on in the kitchen, you will if you misunderstand one or two, you will misunderstand all of them. Okay. Okay. What are the three parts in the kitchen? He comes from me. He doesn't not come from me, and that's something like that. Okay. Okay. So if you deny, for example, that he's coming from you, then you are also denying his emptiness, and you are saying it's not true that he's not coming from nothing. Okay. Okay, that's hard. All right. All right.
Oh, we forgot a little bit.
Sorry,
We
what's
forgot a
that?
little bit at the
Shade
end.
down?
No.
Okay, go ahead. There?
Yeah. De tawe na
Okay.
edakni seni nampa sum charla yang korpa ndepa she jao.
Yeah, the main word here is sumchar. What's that mean? Do you know, Venerable Paula?
It's something like the three.
When you add
ones
char,
before,
when you add char to 3, to the number 3, sum,
then it's
it means all 3.
listeners. Oh, all 3. Okay.
No, it just means all 3. In modern Tibetan, you would say sumka. But in ancient
Okay.
Tibetan, you would say sumchar, and it means all 3. Okay.
Okay. Thank
For
you.
some reason, I thought it was important that we should read the rest of this quotation. Let's see why. I don't know why. Oh, okay. Let's read the rest of it from here. Geshe-la thought it was important a few months ago.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's read the rest of the quotation. Sorry, Katie J did not add this part, but I think it's useful. Okay. So go ahead.
Petakni me chela su du she patang dun mayim pala dun du she payinte ngai chela sundu she patang dun mayim pala dun du she pat tetak che lang che sunzin dun mayim palang dun du zinto.
Yeah, this is difficult. Okay. People who don't believe that the husband is coming from them, basically. Okay. Those are the kind of people who think that my dharma is what?
My dharma is
ch. They think my dharma is dharma. Okay. Okay. People who don't believe that the husband came from yelling at the kids, they believe that my teaching is teaching.
Okay.
Meaning what? They don't understand that my teaching, or more incredibly, they don't understand that my teaching is coming from
them.
Okay. Who wrote the Dhammapada Sutra?
Right.
It's a joke I like to tell people. Who wrote the Dhammapada Sutra? You did. Every time you turn the page, your mind throws words on the paper. Okay. We have this custom to write out the Medicine Buddha Sutra, but actually you're writing it out every time you read it. Okay. It's very funny. Okay. And if they don't understand that when they listen to the Dhammapada Sutra or to any talk by the Buddha, they're actually listening to their own seeds. Okay. Then they believe that Dun Mayimba is Dun. Then they will think that what's not the meaning is the meaning. Good.
Is the meaning.
Yeah. And they will start thinking that my teaching is teaching. They will start thinking that what's not the meaning is the meaning. And they will start to think that teachings are teachings. And they will start to think that everything that's not the meaning is the meaning. Okay. And that's the
say it so many times.
Each one is slightly different and has a different purpose. And if you wrote a commentary, you could write about that. And there have been many, many commentaries to explain that. Okay. All right, here we go again. Allison agreed to check you, I think. Are you there?
Yes.
Can you check her pronunciation? Here we go.
Okay.
Chang Sat Le, Tak Pe Tsiki Tsen Me Shi, Tak Pe Tsiki Tsen Me Tendun Kyurpa, Chút tu me pe dak ni ki dundam par ye pa yak yang dak pe ngpo la tamche ki tamche de me do she kurwande shing chuk sun par je pa kang yin pa di ni chut do wan di le rab tu nyam pa yin par
Bar.
rik
Yeah.
bar jao shedang.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Now this is tough. Okay. This is tough.
Yeah.
So you have the pen, right? And you have the gray color and you have the cylinder shape. Okay. So the eye can only see shapes and colors. So you have a cylinder shape and you have a gray color. Okay. You have two parts. And those two parts are put together differently, say by a dog and by a human. The dog glues the two parts together as something to chew. And then the human glues the two parts together as something to write. Okay. But what are the parts by themselves before you glue them together? Before a picture comes out of your karmic seeds and covers the pieces and makes it a pen or makes it a chew toy, let's talk about the pieces before that. Okay? Before your mind unified them, before your mind made a thing, what were those pieces? Well, it was just a stick and a gray color. Okay, got it? Is that a pen?
No, it's a stick in a gray color.
Yeah, good. It's a stick in a gray color. But most people who haven't been trained, they will say, oh, that's a pen. Okay, they don't realize they are putting a picture on the pieces. And they certainly don't realize that picture is coming out of a karmic seed. And they certainly don't realize that the only way to get that seed in your mind is to be generous and share what you have, your pens, with other people. They don't understand all of that. You know, if you say, is this a pen? They say, yeah, it's a pen. If you point to the parts and say, is that a pen? They'll say that's a pen. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the shi, or the foundation, meaning the parts, the gray and the cylinder. Okay, senma, which appears to you. Okay, which is, senma means mark or indicator of a pen. It's not a pen, it's an indicator of a pen. Okay, to which we are giving a name later, takpa, dokpa. Okay, we are assigning a name to it later. So when he says takpe tsiki semi, who is he, by the way? Who wrote the levels of the Bodhisattva?
This would be Arya Sangha.
Yeah, this is Arya Sangha, and this is probably his most famous work, maybe you can say. Okay, so he says, let's take the gray and the cylinder, divorced of its word, before it gets assigned a word, before you call it pen, or before you call it chew toy. Let's just talk about these silent pieces. Okay, got it? Okay, so that's how he's starting out. The pieces before they get the name. Okay, the pieces before they get the name. Then he says, and he's just giving you another way of saying the same thing. Okay, first he called it she, the foundation of the name.
Mm-hmm.
Then he called it ten, the basis of the name. It's the same thing. Okay, he's just using a different word. Okay, the thing that got the name before it got the name. Okay, the foundation that got the name before it got the name, or you can say the basis that got the name before it got the name. Okay. Judu mepe dagni ki tundam ba ye bayanda bingo bala tamje to mep do shiko tap. Okay. So is it a pen?
No.
Yeah. Okay, good. Before you give it a name, can you describe it as a pen?
No.
No, before your karma forces you to see it as a pen, you can't call it a pen, okay? It is indescribable. Judamepa means cannot be described. Dakni means entity here, okay? It is an entity which is indescribable. Before it gets a name, you can't call it a pen. You can't call it a chew toy, okay? Just the basis, just the foundation, just the grand shape. It's Judamepa. You can't say anything about it. Oh, Utpa, here, look at this gray and this cylinder. Can you tell me whether it's a chew toy or a pen? And then you have to say Judamepa. I can't say.
Yeah.
Depends on what your seeds you have. Okay, depends on what seeds you have. So it's indescribable in that sense. Dagniki, but if you say it's a pen, really, okay, it's not nominal. It's really a pen, okay? And those are the kind of people who get upset at dogs. Okay? The people who think it's really a pen are the people who get upset at dogs. And the people who think Neil Young's music is really the best in the universe are the people who get upset when people play modern music, okay? So everyone, okay, people get angry. Kleshas, negative emotions, come from misunderstanding the foundation of words, okay, or terms, okay, good. Ngopola, they think it's a yandape ngopo, okay? Yandape ngopo means a real thing. It's really a pen before you call it a pen, okay? The ten, the she, the parts, the foundation is a pen before you call it a pen. That's wrong. That's a mistake. It's not a pen yet. It could be a chitoy, okay, got it? Tamje de medo. They are, then what they're really doing is denying pens. Okay? Tamcheki tamchetu. They are denying every form of pen in every way. So tamcheki tamchetu means they messed up all the pens there ever were, ever will be, ever was, okay? They messed it up. Kurwandep. They are underrating pens. Okay, if they say this is a pen before your karma opens up and calls it a pen, then they are underrating all things in the universe. Okay, got it?
I'm sorry, I had to redo my internet because it's
okay.
failing. Can you please go over the
Yeah, cool.
the
Yeah.
tamche ki, tamche, yeah.
Yeah, they would say, if this is not a pen, then there are no pens. If this is not a real pen, before I name it a pen,
Yeah.
then they would say there are no pens.
Okay.
Okay. Geshe-la, is this a pen? No. Why? Your karma didn't call it a pen yet. I disagree. I think it was a pen before that. And if Geshe-la, if you say it's not a pen until my karma calls it a pen, then I think you're wrong. And then we say, you are denying all pens. You don't understand any pens. Okay, got it? It's very difficult wording here. If you say that this was a pen before my karma called it a pen, you are underrating all things in the universe. Okay, that's the point. Asanga is agreeing with the sutra that we just read. Okay, if you don't understand that the husband is coming from yelling at the kids, then you are believing in a husband who was never there. And then you're going to get upset. All kleshas, all negative emotions depend on misunderstanding how this is called a pen. If you misunderstand why your husband is your husband, then you're going to get angry at him. As long as you misunderstand who made your yelling husband, you're going to get negative emotions. And you're going to suffer in samsara, okay? It's very interesting, okay? So if you claim this was a pen before it was a pen, you're actually putting down pens, okay? You're putting down the idea that pens come from you, okay?
Right.
Got it?
I was wondering how to put the words together. So that shape
Okay.
for Korwadet, is that going around Tamche ki Tamche Dumedo?
Yeah.
Just that part or the whole
Yeah,
ways back to J?
What it's saying, Tamche ki, Tamche Dumedo, means everything in every way. Everything in every way is non-existent. Okay. Nothing in any way exists. Okay. Everything in every way. Everything in every way doesn't exist. Okay. If you deny the husband who's coming from yelling at the kids, then really you're believing in nothing. You think you're believing in nothing in every way. Okay. And then he goes further. Chis Simba Che. Chis Simba means you will be. Here's the definition of chis. Well, look down here at the red color. Here's the Great Dictionary's definition of Chisimba, which I had to look up and I had to confirm it for myself. It means chola, and chola is the modern Tibetan word for to be wasted. Okay, like you'll hear in the monastery people say, "Spare the stick and chola dung the young student." Okay, if you don't hit your young students with sticks, you're gonna waste them. Okay, so trolak, or like if you're cooking and you put too much salt in the soup, then trolak, you wasted the whole soup. There's nothing you can do. You can't take salt out of a soup. It's kind of difficult. Okay, so trolak means you wasted it. Okay, so what he's saying is you wasted your life. And you're wasting yourself. Okay. Chusun means you just wasted yourself. Okay. And then he says these two. Okay.
Right.
Out of the blue, out of nowhere, he says these two. And it's not clear what two he's talking about. And so we're going to read the rest of the quotation on our own. Okay, K.W.J. didn't give it to I was curious myself. I wanted to confirm that I understood what's the two, because he says those two. And I just want to see what's those two. Okay, so we're going to have to read a little more from this quotation. Okay. Anyway, if you have these two problems, Rigpa Chao means what? Rigpa Chao at the end here. Rigpa Chao, what's that mean? You should, Rigpa.
You should understand.
Yeah, you should understand that you have Nyampa. You have degenerated. Okay. From what?
Right.
By the way, Rapti Nyampa. You have totally degenerated. Okay. If you believe in these two, you have totally degenerated. Xiaoping, what's Dulwa?
Vinaya, tame.
Yeah. Usually it means Vinaya, but in these ancient books, Chulduwa means this sweet Dharma, which tames your mind. And it refers to all Dharma. Okay. So when you see Dulwa, it means vowed morality. When you see Chudolwa in an old book, it means this sweet Dharma which tames your mind. And it refers to all Dharma, not just the Vinaya. Okay.
Okay.
So if you think that the pen could be a pen before you called it a pen, because your karma forced you to do that, okay? If you think it was a pen from the beginning, you have completely degenerated from the sweet holy Dharma. Okay.
And wasted your life.
Yeah. And then somehow in two ways. Okay. Somehow in two ways. Now you want to go look at what the two ways are?
We better know what those two ways are.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go down and where is that? Okay, here's the quotation from Asanga. Here's the end of it that K.W.J. gave us. And let's read another sentence of it and see if we get a sense for what are the two, okay? Because then we can translate it correctly. Okay, so please read from Yepa Mayin. And Ellie has offered to check your pronunciation. Thank you, Ellie.
Right.
Yepa Mayin Pala Drondok Bay, Yepa Kongin Patetakni, Dok Mayin Du Ching Selwar Jela, Troll Shing Ten Sinte, Yepa Tetaki Suplasope, Nupo Yepa Mayin Pala Drotakpe, Junduwa, Nile Rabtu Nyampa Yimparik Parjao.
Yeah. So look, here's one yamba, okay, here, one
Yeah.
degeneration.
Uh-huh.
And then here comes another one in the next paragraph, okay?
Uh-huh.
So that's what the two are. And,
Yeah.
and if you didn't have John Brady's database, you couldn't check this and you would mistranslate it, okay?
Uh-huh.
So here's the two kinds of degeneration. Let's go look at the first one, okay? Yepa mayimba la dondo benyepa, okay? What's dondo, Utpala?
Yeah, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I really don't know much. It's
It's to say something's there when it's not there. It's to say
Okay.
something's there when it's not there. For example,
fantasy.
saying that my husband is yelling at me because he is hungry
Right.
is drum. Okay. It's not true. You are adding something to the husband which he doesn't really possess. He's not yelling at you at all because he's hungry. He's yelling at you only because you yelled at your kids. There are many hungry husbands who don't yell at their wives. Duh. Okay. So dondok here would mean yubba mayimba means the husband who is yelling at me because he's hungry, who doesn't even exist, right? That's nyempa, okay? That's a problem, okay? To think that your husband is yelling at you because he's hungry is just making up a husband. Don't, okay? You're just making up a husband who's not really there. Kanyemba dedani tomani de jeshing. You should be checking from the very beginning. Does he even exist? Okay. Sour chela, he's going to disappear. If you think carefully, the husband who's yelling at you because he's hungry, if you think carefully about karma, is going to disappear before your very eyes. And that's emptiness, by the way. Okay. Trowa here is related to the word doma, for example, tara, which means to get free, the lady who frees you. It also means delpa, which means to write a commentary or untie a knot or untie a puzzle, okay? So troll here means untie the puzzle, unravel the puzzle, okay? Ten sinte, I've taught it to you already, I've taught you how to unravel this puzzle of trying to get your husband to stop yelling at you. I told you how to stop it. Stop the seeds. Stop trying to feed him more food because you think then there's lots of husbands who are overfed who yell at their wives. Nepa dedaki sula sope ngoba mayimbala don't takpe. If you think that about your husband, you're also going to think it about colors and shapes. You're going to think the color of the sky comes from the sky, but it's coming from you. This beautiful blue sky is coming from you. And there's people in this world who don't have the karma to see it because they're blind, okay? So on that basis, okay, on that score, because you are overrating your husband, you believe you are seeing a husband who's not there. That's the first way you're going to get in trouble. Yay, we got the first one. Okay, we got the first one. What's that? make something there which was never there. A husband who's yelling at you because he's hungry was never there. And you invented him in your mind to explain why it's not your fault he's yelling at you, okay? So that's the first way you're going to get in trouble, okay? We got the first one, yay.
Yay.
Here comes the second one. Go ahead.
Supla sope chenam ki ngupot somla yang korwan dep shing tam cheche sinpa tetak chenduan di le chitarap tu nyampan korwa detar shepar jate.
So I'm gonna Venerable
Is that a
Upala.
word?
I think you can. Which one?
Or auga.
Oh, that's a good question. It's probably not a word. Oh, it's Gyurwa, okay. Good question. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, it's a mistake in the text. Okay.
Don't forget the percentage sign.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'll ask you a question, Vinupala.
Yes,
Logically, if the first problem is sorry, if the first problem is dondog, guess what's the second problem?
If the first problem is
Overrating.
are overrating, yeah, thinking things are there that are not there. The next problem is thinking that things that are not there that are there.
Yeah. Now, who is there that you think is not there is a husband who comes from yelling at your kids.
Right.
Okay. A Shenwang husband, the husband who's coming from your karma, you think he's not there.
Right.
And you think the husband who is there is the one who didn't get dinner. Okay. So when you think there's a husband there who's angry because he didn't get dinner, you are overrating something which never existed.
Uh-huh.
When someone tells you, no, your husband's yelling at you because you yelled at your kids, and you say, no, that cannot be, then you are underrating what is true. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You are denying what is true. And there's your two problems. And now you can translate that other quotation correctly.
Yeah. Right.
Right here. Dinyi, these two guys. Now it's clear. What two guys? The two guys who overrate or underrate their husband. Okay. They're gonna fall out of this holy dharma. They're gonna degenerate from this holy dharma. Who? The two ladies in the kitchen who think their husband is hungry, and they can't believe he's coming from yelling at the kids. Those two ladies are gonna degenerate from my teaching. Okay. Whew. Got it?
Well, thank you.
Yay. That's gonna be tough to translate. You gotta remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That wasn't very easy. Now he's gonna hit us with Changsa again. Okay.
Yeah,
Please.
we got 1 minute.
Let's just read it. Kadin, are you translating? Do you want to yell at Utpala? It's a good chance. Okay. Turn on your mic. Just criticize every third word.
Yang Biang Sale. Dewe.
What? Changsa.
Oh, thank you. Dewe na gang sa ka chik shepar kawe dote tekpa chimpo dung dempa zabmo tongpa ni dung dempe kongpa ten pa docterne.
Okay.
Sabmo, sorry, sabmo.
Good. Okay. Dewe Nam is therefore. Kansa Kachik, there are certain people who, now you got to jump to the end for the verb, which is to. What's that mean?
Who hear?
Yeah, those people, some people who hear this Dharma, which is Shepaka. Ka means difficult.
Hard to understand.
Yeah, some people who hear this Dharma, it is hard to understand. This two husbands in the kitchen thing is hard to understand. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And they listen to the Tekpa Chembodo.
They listen to the sutras of the higher way.
Good. And they listen to sutras which are Demba,
Which are
which are
taught.
taught with a hidden intent, Gongbe Dun, that centers on Tombani.
Hidden intent that what did you say? I'm sorry.
Centers on
Something.
Tombani.
So centers or depends or relies on emptiness.
Yeah, which has emptiness at its heart. Okay, so some people they meet this dharma in which the Buddha is trying to teach emptiness, and it's hard to understand, and he's gonna say they tend to overrate it or underrate it. Okay, but we'll get to that next time.
Okay.
Yay!
Thank you. What would you like me to do for it next time, Geshe-la?
I'm thinking this sentence is natural. Number 162.
Okay.
Okay. Stopped here. Happy December, you guys.
Yay.
I used to
Thank
like
you.
December because my birthday was in December and Christmas was a week later. And you know what happens when you have your birthday and Christmas in the same week?
You don't get presents.
Your parents give you one present and they say, that's to cover both. And then me and my brother, who was also born in December, we wrote a letter to my parents suggesting that they move our birthday to June. But they didn't accept it. All right.
Thank you so
okay?
much. Yeah.
All right, happy.
May you
All
have
right, see
the
you
world
guys.
of all good things.
See you guys this evening, I guess.
Well, no, the
and-
Word is going to do something, I think. Word is
Oh
doing
yeah,
something.
Word is going to teach a class called Going Deeper, but God, I wouldn't go there with him. I'd probably drown. Okay. All right.
Thank you,
All right.
Geshe-la.
Okay, see you guys then.